So you remember how in yesterday's vlog I was talking about how all this really nice weather in Hobart is really uncharacteristic, and I got really lucky about which day I went up Mount Wellington? This is what the weather normally looks like in Hobart. So I'm on my way today to the MONA, which stands for the Museum of Old and New Art, and that acronym has taken me like 2 weeks to remember. And the only way to get there from Hobart is to go to Hobart Central, kind of where I took the bus from yesterday, and take a ferry from there with the river up to the MONA. At least that's the only way to get there without driving and without spending an absurd amount on taxis and Ubers and things like that. So that's where I'm headed this morning. And just as an aside, I filmed a section for yesterday's vlog that I ended up cutting out because it didn't fit in with the rest of the story. But I really want to put it in this vlog. I feel like it makes more sense here. It's talking a little bit about what I've learned from my time in Tasmania and things I didn't expect and things that I think other travellers should know. So I'm going to put that in here while I'm walking to the ferry, but time is relative within the vlog, doesn't matter. I'm going to put it in here and I'll see you when I get to the ferry. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about my experience in Tasmania so far and the things that I've learned / didn't expect. Because I've been here a week now today. Today is a week since I've been in Tasmania. I leave on Sunday, so I've learned a lot of things, and that's mostly because I didn't really do a lot of research myself. I bought plane tickets and I bought bus tickets between cities, and that's it. So I learned a lot over the past week, and I thought I'd share that knowledge on to you. First thing I learned is that Tasmania has almost zero public transport. There's like buses within cities and buses that go between cities, but that's it. There's no trains, there's no trams, there's no intercity trains, there's no simple ways to get. For example, one of the biggest attractions here in Hobart is the MONA. There's no bus service that goes from central Hobart to the MONA. You can either get a taxi or an Uber, or you can walk the 9 kilometers, or you can take a ferry and go all the way around. So that's the first thing. There's no like really functional public transport system here. Second thing is that whatever size you think a city in Tasmania is going to be, shrink it like 3 times. That's how big it is. And then imagine where you'd think all of the attractions are, and then put them 3 times further out from the center of the city. That's what every city I've been to in Tasmania has been like so far. Everything is so spread out, and there's no simple way of getting anywhere. And the third thing that I learned, and this is probably the one that I was least prepared for, was obviously Tasmania is a wealth of nature and wilderness and beauty, and that's why people come here. That's what I've loved. That's been my favorite moments of this trip, is being out in nature. But what I wasn't prepared for was how difficult it was going to be to get to those places. Tasmania is a road trip state. It's a place that you rent a car or you borrow a car and you road trip around. It's not a place that you do what I'm doing, which is just go to a city and use public transport and explore the city and the outer bounds. It's not built for that. But with all that said, my experience over the past week in Tasmania has been nothing but good, bar all the little public transport issues. It is beautiful here, and all of my favorite moments have been in nature and out in places. I think those big camouflage ships behind me are the MONA ferries. That feels like overkill. There's a guy back here filming something. I have no idea what it is, but it looks cool. Normally I would ask him, but I do not have the time to stop. I am going to be late and miss the ferry that I spent $35 on. Same thing, that way? Yes. Beautiful. Thank you so much. That way. Thank you. Alright, we made it on the ferry. Remember how I said a while ago that I get really, really motion sick? Yeah. So hopefully this ferry isn't too long. I think it's like a 45-minute ferry though, so I might be dying when we come off. I'm gonna montage the ferry trip with some buttery 120 because I don't think I'm gonna be able to talk and be on the boat, because apparently this boat is very loud. So I'll talk to you when we get back. That's easily the coolest way I've ever entered an art gallery. That was sick. I feel like I'm entering someone's like private island. Like I shouldn't be here. So what makes MONA so special, at least from what I can gather, is that it's an interactive art gallery. So the whole outside of the building is also an art gallery to an extent. Like, the museum isn't even open yet, it doesn't open for another 10 minutes, but there's art stuff all around here already. So we're kind of just wandering around waiting for the museum to actually open. And then we can go in. Also, just quickly, you know how I said yesterday that it was like perfect weather on Mount Wellington and that never happens? Here's a clip that I filmed from the boat of what Mount Wellington looks like today. So if that doesn't drive home that point of that being incredibly lucky and almost never happening, then I don't know what does. Are we still waiting?
Oh, you can go in any time now.
Oh, perfect.
Got your museum entry tickets.
Yeah. Sweet, thank you so much. Alright, he told me that I need to go down to the bottom floor, work my way back up. It sounds super cool. This is the coolest staircase I've ever been on. Man, there's really this whole island building thing with spiral staircases feels like I'm about to enter some like supervillain secret laboratory. Right? That's not just me. Sick. This thing is really, really cool. I've made the decision that I'm not going to show you, I'm not going to do what I normally do in art galleries, which is show you all the things that I like, because this is such a gallery that deserves to be experienced and not just seen through one of my vlogs. But I will show you some of the cool, like specifically like installation things like this, and experience the building and area with me. I just want to show you like specific art pieces, or a lot of the specific art pieces. Yeah, I'm going to go to the next section now. Every time I turn a corner in this museum, I just find something new. Now I find the glass dildo room. So something interesting that Mona does that other museums don't do is that there's no plaques in this museum. It's all on an app on your phone. It uses Bluetooth and location finding technology to tell you what the art is, which I think is really cool. It kind of makes the experience a lot more natural because you're just walking in and around all of the art. I kind of like it a lot more. That's it for the museum part. I've been through most of it. I'm back at the top floor. That was super cool. Like I said, I don't want to show you any of the artwork, or a lot of the artwork specifically, because a lot of it is stuff that's designed to be experienced. And even if I wanted to show you, I actually physically couldn't, because it's like performance works, or it's like media works that don't work through another visual medium. But wow, what a cool place. Absolutely worth the $60 I spent to get the ferry and get entrance in here. Well, the weather's cleared up at least. So I have like 30 minutes to kill before the ferry arrives. And I did bring my drone with me today. So I thought it'd be fun if I could throw my drone up and get some pretty shots of this part of Hobart. So I've walked off the Mona property and kind of come to this little outlet section. I actually don't know if I'm allowed to be here or not, but there were no signs saying that I couldn't be, and I kind of wanted to launch the drone really far away from everyone else, because obviously, you know, it's an art gallery, they don't want to be disturbed. All those things, you know, it makes total sense. So I'd rather be completely out of the way if I can be. So I'm gonna get the drone set up and throw it up in the air. And again, if you haven't watched my movie about, you know, doing illegal things for the shot, I'll link it up here. You should definitely go watch that, because it ties in quite nicely with this, because I mean, I'm on private property. No one has asked me to not be here, so I mean, technically I'm not breaking any laws and doing anything wrong, but also, like, you know, I know of my own judgment that this is probably not what they would like me to be doing on the Mona property, but I could get some shots that no one else has, and really, that's what it's all about. How you going?
Thanks, how are you?
Good. You getting anything?
No, not yet.
No? I didn't even know that you could fish here. Alright, I need to head back now. The ferry leaves in 30 minutes. I keep telling you times in the vlog as if it matters. It doesn't matter at all. The time to you makes no difference. You see things non-linearly, because that's how I edit it. I keep going on these rants Doesn't matter. Anyway, my ferry leaves in 30 minutes. I'm going to keep saying the time anyway. And I really don't want to miss it because I can't afford to... I literally can't afford to buy another ferry ticket this week.
One there.
Thank you very much. Goodbye, creepy supervillain island. That was good fun. Good little day trip out to Mona. I walk on and they're bumping Mac Miller. This is my kind of boat. Well, that was a lovely little adventure. I thoroughly enjoyed taking that ferry. I'm glad I made the decision to take the ferry over and not the bus. Even though it was slightly more expensive, definitely worth it for the experience.